Good afternoon, almost evening. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Omura from DENSO, Head of Department of HPC Platform Development, like Adaptive AUTOSAR. So today this is the last, I think, presentation in whole 2 days event, also Open Conference 2024. I'm so proud to stand this stage. Hopefully, I think I will give you some fruit you can take away from this presentation. Please do not consider after this event where you go, what you eat, so please keep focusing. This presentation is the last presentation, so hopefully you can focus. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about the SDN, software-defined network, not the SDV. SDN is going to enable the SDP. Then I'm going to introduce DENSO quickly, and then afterwards DENSO SDV direction and the consideration concept, so-called harmony. I'm going to show you the quick movie. Then the SDN will be introduced, and afterwards how AUTOSAR can realize SDN, and the end conclusion. Okay, let's start from the quick introduction about DENSO. Hopefully everybody knows about DENSO, but DENSO is one of the biggest tier 1 supplier in the world. Then our main industry is automotive industry, but also some of the other industrial solutions, food value chains, and so on. We are, I think, headquarters is located in Japan. We are a Japanese company, but we have a lot of subsidiaries in the worldwide. Then SDV direction from DENSO. The direction is 2 ways. One way is from bottom to top. It's the value creation for providing new user experiences. And the other direction from, I think, left to right. This is the continuous value improvement by using the DevOps. So the start of the production of the car is not the end of the development. This is the start of the continuous improvement by DevOps. This is the way of thinking DENSO is. Then let me show you a quick movie what DENSO is aiming in the future as the SDV can do. Quick.
Various devices around the driver present information in various ways. To understand what it is like, just impersonate each device like this. It would be confusing if you were told a spectrum of information like this, right? So, let's place another person between the driver and the devices. Let's call him the manager, who supports the driver in various ways according to the driver's skill, physical ability, road conditions, or so on. The manager also knows the driver's habit and preference better than anyone else, as well as the road ahead, and gives the driver advice suitable to the scene. The manager supports the driver not only while driving, but also before and after the driving. The driver and the vehicle understand each other's rules and intentions through the manager. This is DENSO's concept of harmony, played both by humans and vehicles. Let's look into DENSO's world of harmony. The manager works with a smartphone and or a wearable device to know the preferences and or health conditions of the driver and passengers in advance, and adjusts the in-vehicle temperature to keep it comfortable for occupants. For example, when the driver is on his way back from the gym, the manager may set the air conditioner cooler than usual. When occupants are getting off the vehicle, the manager checks the surrounding condition and locks or unlocks the door in advance. If there is little space to the next car, the door will not fully open. If a child is in the vehicle, the door will be kept locked to prevent the child from jumping out of the vehicle. The manager is one single brain that allows these actions and controls HMI. It changes its shape and ability according to customer needs. and targets to be adaptive to all situations. By equipping all the vehicles in the world with a manager, the managers will communicate with each other and cooperate on the road. It will make your life with vehicles more comfortable, with much confidence and security. The harmony played by humans and vehicles will become more beautiful in the future.
Okay, thanks for watching. This is the concept what DENSO wants to achieve. Make the vehicle very smart and adaptable to the people by people or the context in the vehicle. So make it smart and adaptive. This is what DENSO wants to achieve. Yeah, sorry, it's a little bit complicated slide, but the point is the thinking approach from the left to right. So right now the car has a lot of supporting features. Then it's going to be adapting to the people and then cooperation with the people as you see in the movies. So people by people, driver by driver, or context by context. Such an adaptation we want to achieve. Then think, will it be possible? DENSO solely achieve this? No, it's not. So we need a cooperation with the OEMs. That's why we established UX-based development process together with OEMs, because OEMs are the touch point of the users. So DENSO solely cannot do it. So we need to do it together with OEMs. Another complicated slide again, sorry, but the important thing is the right half bottom of the picture, the pink part and the other colored part. So we are thinking the DevOps is also required in order to such an adaptation and continuous improvement after the SOP. Then the pink part, these are the running in the in-car system. We deploy the AI and then execute the AI as a shadow mode and then get the data which can be used for the AI learning. And then the cloud system, AUTOSAR system, we would retrain the AI system and the verification, validation again and deploy it into the in-car system again. Such kind of continuous improvement, DevOps will be done in the future. Let's go on to the SDN part. So this SDV we need to achieve, but in the context of AUTOSAR, what is related? Because the AI model or application creation, this is kind of out of scope of the AUTOSAR. We have a methodology, but just like that. Then in the context of AUTOSAR, important thing is in-car network. So in-car network adaptation in order to establish the software-defined vehicle as you see in the movie, this is the point. This is the SDN. The definition of SDN is like this. So dynamically configurable network architecture for flexible and quick adaptation to changing the vehicle environment. Changing vehicle environment. You saw the movie. This is the point. Then benefit of SDN is like this. Then the structure of SDN is left and bottom part. The SDN, single SDN controller, green part is in the vehicle, and then this single SDN controller configured, for example, Ethernet switches, and then control the Ethernet packet flow, and so on. One easy example is the white side. So it's a typical zone and central architecture you have seen in these 2 days a couple of times. Then there's a camera ECU at the left side. It's very easy, you see. Who is the user of the camera ECU data? It must be other ECUs, normally. But normal operation is like this, but it would be like this. So the camera ECU data wants to be used by the users for the security purpose. User wants to see the surrounding vehicle, for example, via cloud, and then with their smartphones. In that case, so Ethernet switch needs to be changed the routing from the normal operation to the other operation like Sentry security mode. these kind of features we want to achieve, then SDN is the key technology to achieve it. I hope this makes sense to you. Then SDN, is this the thing only DENSO is saying? No, it's not. It's already declared in the JASPER organization. So JASPER already established the specification of the SDN, requirements of the SDN, and also it's going to be released as a document of the SDN architecture. And then these presentation materials couldn't be seen from you, but these are the presentation material which JASPER did in the last year. So SDN is already one of the topics of the standardization in the automotive industry, at least from Japan perspective. How we realize the SDN by using the AUTOSAR. It's not so complicated. You see the typical zone architecture, and then HPC1 would be the biggest computer in the vehicle, and like the manager as you see in the movies, one single brain, most smart ECUs in the vehicle. Then this HPC1 can control or change the Ethernet switches, which will include the classic platform software, I think at this moment already, but in the future mostly. Then the classic platform can be updated by UCM functionality by the adaptive platform. Then this is the SDN for the Ethernet. We have also another typical network like CAN, how we make it. Then the zone 4, there are a lot of ECUs connected to the CAN. Then HPC1 asks or commands zone 4 to change the network topology under its CAN network by using PNC, partial network clustering technologies. I think these main two features should be able to achieve the software-defined network. Can you click the box on the right side? Then about the Ethernet, what would be the recommendation from our perspective to the AUTOSAR? Based on the current technology that is on the left side, then the classic platform or adaptive platform both cannot be updated so small granularity, fine granularity. Like classic platform, which will operate the Ethernet switch, classic platform can only be updated basically by whole binaries. You can only update whole binaries. Cannot be updated some small amount of configuration part in order to change the Ethernet, for example, path or routing. Then let's change like this. So there is the concept. Sorry, I should write the concept number. Then if we make it, we can update the parameter only based on the TNCN configuration defined by IEEE 8.2.1, 8.2.1, sorry. Then recommendation would be like this, so update parameters only by using AirXML or YAML style. This is the one recommendation for the Ethernet thing in order to achieve the SDN for the SDV. Can you go back? Oh, sorry, the right top side. Okay, thank you. Faster. Then let's talk about the CAN network. So CAN network, as I told you, the HPC1 commands to the zone 4, and then zone 4 would be the responsible to change the ECU settings or configuration. Okay. It's energy spending if we wake every ECU, so all ECUs under the zone 4 controller if user wants to do something. Then the something, let me explain. So, for example, there are some examples: 1, 2, 3, 1 dot mode, and 2 dancing mode, 3 century mode. This is coming from the Tesla. Then, so it depends on the user's circumstances, or context, or options user wants to use a both already. Then, for example, let's enable the century mode. Then camera ECU and so on will be wakened up for the security purpose when car is parked or stopped. Then the other mode, user wants to do the dancing mode. Then let's car dancing for the entertainment purpose, or wants to see where it's parked the car. Then such kind of mode switches will be done by the user preference or settings or circumstances or purchased options. Then in order to make it, so ECU waken up should be changed or configured. That is done by the dynamical PNC features. Can you again click the point, the right side? Yes, thank you. Then, based on the current technology, the PNC cannot be configured after SOP. We need to fix the PNC setting, partial network clustering settings, which ECU are the target of the waking up. Then it should be flexible, even if it's a classic platform. Then the previous technologies like this above side. Then let's make it below side. It's not so complicated, it's easy. Then the left side, so if we have to turn on as a PNC 1, then only ECU A and C will be waken up for certain purposes. But can be changed up based on the situation. Then if the change like this, then if we select the PNC number 1, then only ECU A will be waken up. This kind of PNC settings dynamically change will be achieved by the diagnostic command. This is also the ongoing change request in the AUTOSAR feature. In the future, it will be achieved, available. Can you go back? Yeah, thank you. It was. Okay, I think I'm a little bit faster. Okay, this is the additional benefit kind of. If we introduce SDN, it's redundancy, reliability and availability by the redundancies. If you look on the right side, so it's also the typical architecture. The mobility computer or HPC is in the center, and then there are zone controllers. And there is a connection in between ECUs by Ethernet. And if there is a link down or some broken network in between the mobility computer and zone 1, then we couldn't do communication. But if we have such a flexible, dynamically configurable network, then we can easily establish the redundancy path. The zone 1 can communicate with zone mobility control computer via zone 2. And this kind of redundancy also can be made easily by using the SDN technology. This is additional benefit, isn't it? Then the second part is the somewhat availability thing. So if the situation is changed due to some circumstances, situations, then the traffic from the zone 1 to mobility computer is exceeded compared to the capacity or bandwidth. Then we can use the alternative route as a detour from zone 1 via zone 2 to send the data to the mobility computer. That kind of thing can be done. Okay. the conclusion is like this. So you see the movies, so DENSO harmony, what DENSO is thinking about the SDV and what DENSO wants to achieve. I hope you get it. Then the vehicle could be adapted to the people by people or situation by situation. This is the world we want to achieve. Then in order to achieve this, so in-vehicle network should be flexible, adaptable. And automotive SDN would be the solution in order to achieve this. Then to enable the dynamic vehicle adaptation, I think more flexible and fine granular update needs to be achieved. These are the key elements for AUTOSAR to support in the future. So DENSO will add SDN enabling technologies in the future to AUTOSAR. Yes. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much. A little bit time still remains for any question? Okay, welcome. Please wait.
Thank you for your presentation. I have a couple of questions. In fact, the first question is on slide number 8. Where the HPC1 connects to the HPC, or the slide number 9, sorry. The HPC1 connects to the HPC2. What kind of connection is it when there is already 2 switch configurations available in both the HPCs? Why don't the HPC1 talk to HPC2 over the Ethernet switch? Would that be easier to establish given you can maintain?
Sorry, can you say which slide?
Yeah, sorry, it was 8.
8 is okay?
8. Yeah, so 8, yeah. So here I see that there is a connection between central HPC and ADAS HPC. And then ADAS HPC also talks to over Ethernet switch onto the, and it has a connection to the central HPC as well. So basically my question is why, what is the additional use case of central HPC directly talking to ADAS HPC bypassing the Ethernet switch? Because it is more strong to establish communication over switch where you can maintain homogeneous TSN policies or QoS policies across the system. So this is my first question. And the second question is on slide number 13. Yeah, where you have talked about fail-safe, sorry, one slide back, slide number 12. You talked about fail-safes here, that, for example, if the zone 1, communication between zone 1 and MC is down, you spoke about zone 1 talking via zone 2 to MC. This means if zone 1 and zone 2 are classic ECUs, so you suggest that the system template configuration, that is the VLAN configuration, IPs, the socket connections, etc., will be duplicated on all zonals, because this is the only way I see that we can establish a bypass route with the same network configuration. So these two are my questions.
Okay. So the connection in between ADAS ECU and central HPC. So I think it depends on the system setting, the configuration or purposes, but there are some, how to say, dedicated communication is required sometimes in between ADAS and central HPC. So the network stability or bandwidth, how to say, assurance perspective, direct communication would be nice, but on the other hand, ADAS also needs to communicate all zone ECUs for their purposes. That's why we are saying such kind of architecture. Then second question is the income. So in this case, so currently we are not so 100% sure whether zone controller only has the classic platform or both classic and adaptive platform. So it would be easier, zone controller would have both platforms, then can be updatable by the zone 1 ECU of the adaptive part itself and change the configuration settings of the classic platform or also in zone 1 controller. This is the current assumption. Am I answering your question?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, any other questions? It's okay. So, thank you very much, Mr. Omura.
Thank you.